Royal Caribbean's Anthem of the Seas was designed to be one of the most technologically advanced cruise ships in the world. And whether you pay attention to all that amazing technology or are just looking for a relaxing vacation, today I've got a full cruise ship tour of Anthem of the Seas up next. Hey everyone, it's Matt from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com, and today we've got a look at Anthem of the Seas, one of Royal Caribbean's Quantum-class ships. Anthem of the Seas first joined the fleet in 2015, and she combines first-class style, exquisite dining, and original entertainment to provide an incredible cruise experience. Anthem is the sort of cruise ship that has something for everybody to enjoy, whether you're new to cruising or an established veteran. Just looking at Anthem of the Seas, it really becomes quite clear that there's a lot to see and do on board, but first-time cruisers will find the experience easy to navigate. In fact, Royal Caribbean designed the Quantum-class ships with first-time cruisers in mind. Anthem of the Seas usually splits her time between sailing out of Cape Liberty in Bayonne, New Jersey during the fall and winter months and even some of the spring. And then most years, she heads over to Europe in the summertime to offer cruises from Southampton, England. Of course, that can change in any year, but this is usually how it works. But Anthem of the Seas has primarily been sailing out of the Northeast U.S., offering cruises from Cape Liberty over to the Bahamas, up to Canada, and even down to the Southern Caribbean. It really has a varied itinerary option, which is really nice for folks who are in the Northeast and don't have to fly for their cruise. You can just simply hop on board and enjoy that. So if you're trying Anthem of the Seas for your first cruise, or it's just your first time sailing on her, we've got a look at everything you need to know about Anthem of the Seas with a full walkthrough tour. Let's get started. We'll start off with the pool deck. Anthem of the Seas has 16 passenger accessible decks, and we're going to start off with the top deck here on Anthem of the Seas. This is the pool deck area. Of course, if you're on a Royal Caribbean cruise ship, you're pretty much used to the fact there's a dual pool deck situation where you have the lower pool deck and the upper pool deck. The lower pool deck is where you find, of course, well, the pools. There are a couple different pools you can choose from. The first one is the general pool. This is an outdoor pool that's available to all guests, and it's, of course, lifeguards available there as well. You're also going to find whirlpools and hot tubs to enjoy. Now, if you're looking at this video, this was taken actually on a cruise out of Southampton, England. So the fact it's a little gray out, well, that's pretty typical for England. But if you're on a cruise of the Caribbean, plan on much sunnier skies. In fact, there's also a kids splash area if you got younger children who want to enjoy some time, not necessarily in the pool, but enjoying some of the facilities there. You've also got the whirlpool thing. My kids call it the toilet bowl, where you just go around and around and around, and they love it. I don't know, but they just can't get enough of this thing where you just basically swim around in a circle, but kids seem to enjoy it. So maybe something for your kids to enjoy as well. Now, of course, it wouldn't be a Royal Caribbean pool deck without, yes, complimentary soft serve ice cream, frozen yogurt, whatever you want to call it. And it's available for you with no additional cost during your cruise. You just go up there and they'll give you as much of it as you would like. You also find the sky bar on the pool deck. Again, pretty much a Royal Caribbean staple where you've got the bars near the pool and you can enjoy that. Something I like about the Quantum-class ships are some of the seating areas, especially with the shade above you. It's not indoors, but it's got protection from the sun, so it's nice to be able to kind of relax over there. And you've got a movie screen also on the pool deck of Anthem of the Seas. If you go up to the upper pool deck, there's a lot more seating here. Typically, most people that are up here are looking to sun themselves, tanning, taking a nap, both, whatever the case may be. The nice thing about the upper pool deck is you get more of a breeze as well. But there's a lot of seating on that upper pool deck. And of course, I'd be remiss if we didn't talk about the big kahuna here you see up top, which is the North Star. Yeah, the North Star is really a big feature of the Quantum-class ships. And right below it, actually, is, again, another sun deck that you can enjoy, a little more seating there. And there's a bar near the North Star, aptly named the North Star Bar, where you can get plenty of drinks and enjoy a cocktail or two with the view. This bar tends to be a little less crowded than the sky bar below. So, grab your favorite cocktail, enjoy it, and take a look at the views around you because it's really nice. But the North Star is a really incredible feature on the Quantum-class ships only. It's an observational pod that can take you up to 300 feet above sea level with views all around. Now, the North Star is sometimes complimentary and sometimes costs extra. It depends if you're in port or at sea. And again, this can vary. But typically what happens is when you get a ride on here, it will take you up slowly. About a dozen or so people can go in here, and it is air conditioned inside, don't worry. And it can take you to give you some fantastic views all around. It's a very slow moving experience, and the whole thing maybe takes about 10 or 15 minutes, but it allows you to see some incredible views all around your ship. I think it's definitely a must do, especially if it's complimentary. If you can get one, you can book rides on the North Star on the Royal Caribbean app once on board. Next up is the Suite Sun Deck. So if you're staying in a Grand Suite or above, there is a reserved sun deck just for you for being a suite guest. This is an area of the ship, again, with reserved seating for suite guests, something a little more of a option for them to have that's separated from everybody else. And the nice thing about, of course, the Suite Sun Deck is you probably don't have to compete for shares because it's a lot less crowded. All right, let's get back down to the pool deck and head over to Johnny Rockets. So the nice thing about Anthem of the Seas is they have a Johnny Rockets, but unlike maybe other Royal Caribbean cruise ships where you have a cover charge and more of a sit-down experience, this is more grab and go. So here at Johnny Rockets, you pay for the food you order, similar to Izumi, which we'll see in a little bit, where it's more a la carte. So the nice thing about this is if you just want a burger or a milkshake, you can stop in, order that, and be on your way, which, by the way, is also coincidentally my favorite combo. You get the milkshake and the burger. Love it. One of my favorite things about the Quantum class ships is the indoor pool. The indoor pool is climate controlled, totally enclosed, which means if it's raining, cold, or extremely hot outside, doesn't matter. It's perfect conditions here in the indoor pool. The indoor pool is available for all guests of all ages, and there's a hot tub and a regular pool and a little bit of a wading pool for very young children. And again, I like this because I like the climate controlled. You know, I'm not looking to necessarily get a huge suntan when I'm out in the pool. I'm also looking for it not to be super hot or super windy. And if it's raining, this is what's so great about the Quantum class ships is that there's always going to be a pool for all guests available no matter what the weather is, which is really important. There is a bar by the pool here as well in the indoor pool. Now the roof theoretically does retract. I've seen it happen like once, but I wouldn't expect it necessarily for your cruise. But again, it's climate control. There's a lot of seating here. And when we go on Anthem of the Seas, we usually end up in this pool primarily. Again, it's a little more comfortable. I just prefer it. You'll also find the towel station here in the indoor pool area. So of course, towels are complimentary. Do not pack towels. You don't have to bring any towels with you from home. They'll have them available to you. They're complimentary. Just grab and go and just return them when you're done. Now, there's another indoor pool on Anthem of the Seas in the Solarium. The Solarium is an adults-only area of Anthem of the Seas. In fact, every Royal Caribbean cruise ship has a Solarium area. It's for guests 16 and above. So the families have access to an indoor pool, as we just saw, and this is reserved for adults. And I gotta say, the Solarium on any Quantum class ship like Anthem of the Seas is absolutely beautiful. I think it's the best looking, aesthetically, Solarium of any Royal Caribbean cruise ship. I just love the multi-level setup they've got with the pools, the foliage, the views you've got of the ocean. It's just a really pretty setup. And yeah, it's still fun to go in the pool as well. You've got some hot tubs. So, you know, what's really great about the Solarium is it's an adult enclave. It tends to be a little bit quieter than the main pool, and there's obviously no kids, so there's a little more seating available for you. There's also a little fun feature here on the front of the ship. It's a swing. Yeah, you can go over here and get some selfies and maybe just enjoy the view. But the Solarium is really known also for its nicer seating. It's a little more cushioning to each of the seats you're going to find here. And in general, you're going to find the Solarium to be, I think, more of a quieter spot. And because it's enclosed as well, it's climate controlled, which makes it a little bit nicer. The Sunshine Bar is also available in the Solarium. This is, of course, the pool bar for the Solarium area. So get your favorite cocktails, whether it's mojito or a daiquiri or just a rum and coke, and you can enjoy your drinks here. And of course, your drink packages work on board. You might be wondering, is the drink package worth it on a Royal Caribbean cruise? You know, they're not cheap, but they can save you money, especially if you drink every day. It just depends how much you can drink. If you're talking just cocktails, of course, it includes more than just cocktails. You're looking at, 6 drinks or so per day to make it worthwhile. You're also going to find the Solarium Bistro restaurant in the Solarium area of Anthem of the Seas. Now, Solarium Bistro is available to all guests, so because it's in the Solarium, you can still bring your kids in here. And it's available for most meals. It's actually a great spot for breakfast. And for dinner, it's also open as well. It's a great alternative, and it's complimentary. So why not? I like it because think of it kind of like as a hybrid restaurant. There's a buffet aspect to it. You can also order for dinner other foods, but it's just nice to be able to kind of mix and match, and it tends to be a lot less crowded than other restaurants. In fact, if the Solarium Bistro is open on embarkation day, it is a fantastic alternative to the Windjammer because there's a lot less people coming here because, quite frankly, most people don't even know it exists. A favorite secret of Anthem of the Seas are the bridge wings that you can check out. This is my favorite spot to get your selfie. If you're gonna take one selfie, and let's face it, you'll probably take more than one, this is the place to do it because these bridge wings jet over the side of the Solarium. And so basically you just walk to the front of the Solarium, and on either side, you'll see doors lead out to it. And it's a great spot to see where you're going, get your I'm the King of the World photo, or just, check out what's happening. If you're doing sail in or sail away, this is also a great spot. All right, we're going to head to the back of the pool deck now. As you remember, we were in the front in the Solarium. Now we're going to walk back to the Seaplex. Seaplex is a major signature area for any Quantum class ship. It's an indoor sports deck, and they have a lot of features. It's a multi-purpose venue. You see bumper cars here. Yeah, you can do bumper cars. No cost to do so. First come, first serve for those bumper cars. It is a lot of fun to do bumper cars at sea. You've also got other features of the Seaplex. There's an Xbox gaming area. I remember my first cruise on Quantum of the Sea, sister ship there. I went to play Xbox because, you know, I'm a geek. And all the kids were like, "Grandpa, what are you doing in here?" They all have this weird look like, why is there an adult in here? You've also got some video games you can play. The video games cost extra. Xbox is included. But if you want to play, you know, air hockey or something else, that will cost you extra. You're also going to find the Seaplex Doghouse in the Seaplex. This is where you can get complimentary, no additional cost, hot dogs, your favorite way. My favorite is the traditional, is to go with the Coney Island. You get a hot dog, you get mustard, sauerkraut. Oh, them's good eating right there. There's also Coca-Cola freestyle machines, not just here, but around the ship as well. If you have a drink package, you can use that. Nearby is the arcade, which I'm sure your children, once they see this part of the video, are going to say, "Well, can we go here?" No. Why not? I don't want to pay for it. Why not? Well, you told you so. Why not? Ask your mom. Anyway, the arcade costs extra, obviously, for games here. You can purchase credits either as you go. There are the option to purchase arcade credits before your cruise. I don't recommend it, actually, because you always end up with remainder credits. You're better off just playing as you go and then just, you know, using whatever credits you purchase at the time. You're also going to find the Fuel Teen Club. So this is an indoor teen club area. So this area of the ship is reserved for teens to use during their cruise or special events on here. It's basically a social hangout. And for teens that are, you know, above the age of 12, you're going to find an area for them to kind of, you know, relax. And there's some activities in here. You're going to find a lot of cool areas. And actually, it's not a bad spot to hang out. They have some comfortable seating. I wouldn't mind hanging out here if, again, I wasn't grossly over the age of the teens that are allowed in here. But nonetheless, a neat spot. Something else outside the Seaplex area you should be aware of is there's a lot of seating out here. So if you're looking for some spare seating, quiet areas might not be a bad spot. You're also going to find Gigi. That's right. That's the name of the larger-than-life animal character. All the Quantum class ships have a larger-than-life animal character. And in the case of the Anthem of the Seas, it's a giraffe. There's also a rock climbing wall on the Anthem of the Seas. Every Royal Caribbean ship has one as well. Give it a try. Complimentary, no additional cost. Different tracks depending on your skill level. And you can give that a shot and see how that goes. Another signature activity on the Quantum class ships is Ripcord by iFly. This is a sky diving simulator. Everybody gets a complimentary ride during the ship. You just have to sign up for it for a time in the Royal Caribbean app. And basically, you enter a giant wind tunnel, and the person in there will assist you, and you basically get the sensation of free falling. Don't worry, what this crew member is doing is not what you're going to end up doing. You basically get put in there, held up for a few seconds, and you get the sensation of doing it without actually having to jump out of a perfectly good airplane. It can be a really cool activity to try out. It requires a little more coordination than I have, but it's something that a lot of people really look forward to trying out because the cost is right and complimentary. Why not? You're also going to find the Flow Rider Surf Simulator on the Anthem of the Seas. Of course, the Flow Rider has become a real staple of Royal Caribbean cruise ships. This allows you to try your hand at stand-up surfing or bodyboarding, depending on which configuration they have up. No additional cost, just first come, first serve. And at the back of the ship, you have some great views of the wake. You know, some people, as you can see here, are enjoying that with some seats. So if you're looking for a quiet area with some great views, the back of the ship near the aft really is not crowded at all, and you can find some fantastic views to enjoy. All right, we're going to head on down one deck because, of course, these great views, we're going to check out more of the ship. There's a staircase here in the back to get you down one more deck below us. And next up, we're going to head over to, oh yes, the Windjammer. Yes, the complimentary buffet on your Royal Caribbean cruise. So the Windjammer in the Quantum class ships like Anthem of the Seas here is a great setup because I love the fact that they have very large stations. It's very well spread out. It's a really, really large Windjammer. And the Windjammer is open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day of your cruise. And there is, well, just like every buffet, a lot of variety to choose from. You've got salads, you've got pastas, you're going to have, you know, meats, and you're going to have sandwiches, and all sorts of stations for you to choose from depending on the day. The breakfast menu every day is pretty much the same, while the lunch and dinner menus do vary somewhat. There's always going to be some like core signatures, but you're also going to find great food as well. There's going to be complimentary drinks on board. Of course, if you're looking on your Royal Caribbean cruise and want to figure out what's included, you're going to have water, tea, coffees, some juices in the morning, flavored waters, hot chocolate. Those are included. Milk, of course, with your Royal Caribbean cruise, but if sodas and cocktails and beers, that's going to cost you extra on board. Something I love about Anthem of the Seas is there is a outdoor seating area in the Windjammer. Just walk all the way back and you're going to spot this outdoor seating area. If you got food, you got to eat out here because the views are amazing. You got the breeze going. It's a great spot and it's shady. So I think if you're eating at the Windjammer, regardless of your meal, make sure you walk all the way back. Something else you're going to find near the Windjammer is Coastal Kitchen. Coastal Kitchen is the complimentary suites-only restaurant. Think of it like the main dining room for suite guests. If you're staying in a grand suite or above, you can dine in Coastal Kitchen for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's also included for junior suite guests for dinner only, and there's a rotating menu for dinner. What a lot of people love about this is you're paying for a suite, and you get this included with your cruise fare reserved just for suite guests. So it's more of an elevated experience. You know, Royal Caribbean describes the menu as a combination of Mediterranean food with California flair, so check it on out. Now here's the living room. So this is like more of the Adventure Ocean for Teens Club. So the Fuel Club was like the club experience, if you will. This is the teen area, the teen room, the main part for teens to participate in. So this is where they'll go initially to during the daytime. There's different activities for teens in here. Like I said, that seating by the window looks amazing. I'd love to take a nap in there. Again, not allowed, but it's a really cool area. And of course, the Teen Club is complimentary for your children to enjoy. So if you got teens on board, make sure they stop by on day one to register and kind of meet everybody else. And they might make some nice friends, you know, nothing to lose, everything to gain by going in there. Coming downstairs, one of my other favorite little hidden tricks on Anthem of the Seas is there is a see-through staircase. Yeah, it's kind of, I don't know if you scary or not, but if you step on here, you're going to look all the way down about, I don't know, 10 decks or more. It's a good photo feature, and it can also scare your children, so make sure you take them over there. Kind of a fun little feature. Again, when you're walking down from the Windjammer down the stairs, you'll be able to see it, no problem at all. All right, we're going to head down to the Via. So now we're kind of on the main level. The Via is a connector area between the Royal Esplanade, which we'll see in a little bit, to the back of the ship. It's a visually appealing area. It's basically a hallway, don't get me wrong. But what's cool about it is that you've got some nice music playing, and it's just a beautiful area. You've got this artwork here as you enter the main part of the Via. Every Quantum class ship has a little piece of artwork here, which really stands out, which is a neat little area. Think of this as more just kind of somewhere you can sit down and kind of relax a little bit, but it's also surrounded by a number of shopping and dining opportunities. You've got the Hublot store if you'd like to purchase some jewelry, and you also have Jamie's Italian Specialty Restaurant. Jamie's Italian is run by Jamie Oliver, the celebrity British chef, and it's his take on Italian food. This does cost extra to dine here. There's a cover charge involved, but it's known for its fresh pastas and a variety of dishes, meat planks, and it's a really cool little restaurant. What I like about it is that while it's not your traditional Italian food, it's still very much a lot of the dishes you've come to know, just a little more of a modern take on it, if you will. Don't worry, something too crazy. You're still gonna have choices of, you know, spaghettis and pennes and eggplant and lasagnas, but I like that there's a little more variety here, and there's something usually that most people can enjoy. Certainly Jamie's Italian is the kind of restaurant that's certainly good for kids and adults, and there's no issues at all with finding something that I think everyone's going to enjoy at Jamie's. When I go to Jamie's, they're open for lunch and dinner every night, lunch on probably sea days more than port days, and so it can be a good place to go. In fact, on embarkation day, it can sometimes be open and usually a good spot. When it comes to making reservations for any specialty restaurant we're talking about here on Anthem of the Seas, you're going to want to make sure you get that before your cruise, if at all possible, to assure you of a time. Jamie's does have an outdoor area where you can dine al dente. I've never actually been out here to dine. I think it's maybe seasonally if you'd like to be out there. Depending on the weather, it could be a great idea or a terrible one, but it could be an option for you, so you can certainly ask about seating outside and they can enjoy some view. Next door to Jamie's is Vintages, the Royal Caribbean wine bar, where, well, yes, there's a lot of wines. In fact, if you're a wine lover, this is the place to go for you because they have the greatest selection of wines available either by the glass or by the bottle, of course, that you can purchase. You know, Vintages is usually not a very busy area, but on Anthem of the Seas, I really like its location, and they do have other cocktails available here besides simply wine, so if you're just looking to get something to drink, I like the people watching aspect of it. There's great tables, very comfortable seats, and you can see people going back and forth, and it's just a nice area to kind of hang out in. So, you know, usually on most trips, I'm not hanging out that much in Vintages, but here is kind of the exception. You're also going to find a lot of other seating near the windows, and this can be very comfortable. Good spots to just kind of like, hey, let's figure out what we're going to do next, or take a breather, whatever the case. You're on a cruise, you're going to be relaxing. Next cruise is our next stop. This is where you can book another Royal Caribbean cruise. Essentially, Royal Caribbean gives you free onboard credit and reduced deposit for booking your cruise while on board. Yes, you must book it while on board, not after the cruise. And there's no real sales pressure here. This isn't like a timeshare selling pitch where they're really trying to pressure you into it. You can make a reservation or simply walk up and try to get one. And quite frankly, the opportunity here is that you're having a great cruise and you want to book another one. This is the thing to do. So stop by next cruise if that's of interest to you. Cafe at 270 is a grab-and-go complimentary spot at the back of the ship. Think of this kind of like your Cafe Promenade or Cafe Latitudes you may find on other Royal Caribbean cruise ships. You've got a lot of food that you can simply grab and go depending on the day. They're open actually for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and there's different options here. In the morning, they've got bagels. In the afternoon, they've got Kemmelwick sandwiches and a variety of food to choose from, salads. It's really very much customizable as well. So this can be a really good grab and go maybe before your shore excursion. Stop by, get something to eat, and then be on your way. And then, of course, you have 270 at the rear of the ship. 270 is a signature theater at the back of Anthem of the Seas. And 270, as the name implies, is a viewing area stage that has a 270-degree view of the ocean behind it. These floor-to-ceiling windows are massive, and there's actually curtains that can come down to block out the light, and then you have the perfect view for a show. There's actually seatings on 2 different levels. My advice, if you're going to see a show in 270, go to the second level. First row, it's the best seating. During the daytime when there's nothing happening, there's some great seats by that window, so it might be a good spot to grab your book and go lay down in. In fact, there's a lot of seating all around, some of it more hidden than others, including seating in the library, which is on the upper level of 270. And as the name implies, this is where you can borrow some books or just read quietly. There's also some computers that you can use. The computers don't cost money per se, but of course the internet access does, so you're still paying for it no matter what. The library is just kind of an area people can go to quietly, read, as you probably would make, I guess, in a real library. And there are some books that you can borrow. But I love 270 is the views out here. I mean, it's the back of the ship, and because it's climate controlled, because you're inside, always perfect weather. There's a bar also at 270, which can serve you drinks. During show times, they'll go out and have waiters to be able to bring you drinks. But if you'd like to, you can also sit over here during the daytime. Again, during the day, it's usually pretty quiet in here, so it's a good spot to kind of have a chill, relaxing drink and enjoy the views. But as I mentioned, when it's showtime, the curtains are drawn, and you've got different shows, including Spectra's Cabaret, which is the signature show in 270 on Anthem of the Seas. Spectra's Cabaret is a dance spectacular. There's a lot of technology involved with it, which makes it even more impressive. Because, of course, the cast members in the show are impressive. I mean, really, they've got a lot of talent, whether it's singing, dancing, acrobatics, or both. And then you've got the robo screens behind them. It's incredible, must see. Definitely check it out. Next up is the Royal Esplanade. The Royal Esplanade is the main thoroughfare of Anthem of the Seas. As you get to the top here, actually, these lights that you're seeing, it's actually matched to your heartbeat. You put your hands down on the pad there, and as your heartbeat moves, the lights blink. It's kind of a really cool thing, and I just like, it's just fun to do. Even for a second to just see what your heart rate is like. It's pretty darn neat. But the Royal Esplanade, as opposed to the Royal Promenade you might find on other Royal Caribbean cruise ships, is more of a shopping district. It's less cavernous than the Royal Promenade, but there's still here pretty much the same things you find on a Royal Promenade. There are shops, there are restaurants, there are lounges and bars, and a couple things in between. So depending on which level you're looking at, really that's the other difference, is you've got 2 levels to the Esplanade as opposed to 1 level on the Promenade. In the center, there's usually shopping available for you. They have different things out in the middle, and then you've got the shops that kind of extend out to go into to pick out a couple different things. So we're going to walk around the Royal Esplanade, starting off with Boleros, the Latin-themed bar on Anthem of the Seas. Boleros on this ship is actually quite large and cavernous. It extends quite a bit down, if you will. When you walk in, it might look like, oh, okay, this is just your usual bar. But if you keep walking in, there's a lot more seating. And in the evening, you're often going to find different live musical acts. Usually there's a salsa or merengue band that's playing. What I like about this, actually, earlier in the evening, they'll have like classical music or jazz music in here. It's really nice. I love the seating of Boleros on Anthem of the Seas, maybe even more so than any other Boleros that you might find on a Royal Caribbean ship. And of course, great drinks to have here. If you're going to go to Boleros, though, and you want a recommendation, the mojito. It's the best mojito on board the ship, freshly made. I think you'll enjoy it. It goes perfectly with the music there. And there's a dance floor, if that's of interest to you, to get up there and dance your heart away. You can totally do that. Next door is Café La Patisserie, which is basically your, well, we'll call it Café Promenade, but there actually is a Café Promenade on the other side. Essentially, these are coffees and snacks that cost extra. It's basically, let's call it a Starbucks. It's not really a Starbucks, but for the purposes of argument here, we're going to call it a Starbucks here. We're going to find a variety of pastries and drinks. All these cost extra, by the way. There is actually Starbucks coffee served here as well. So this does cost extra for you, but sometimes you just want to have something a little bit different and you're in the mood for Starbucks. This is where you can go. It definitely has a coffee shop vibe to it. You're also going to find guest services, whenever you have a problem, a concern, a question, this is probably where you're going to go. Locked out of your room, having a billing issue, want to figure out something that you've got about the logistics of the cruise, whether it's debarkation or anything in between. Guest services, the loyalty ambassador is where you can go to get those questions answered. Guest service is available 24 hours a day. The loyalty ambassador has set hours, but you can stop by and check that out. You're going to notice some art here next to guest services, and Anthem of the Seas and the Quantum class in general is really known for the infusion of art in its ships. I can't pretend to explain to you what they all are, but it's really pretty. You've also got a little bit of a shortcut down to the casino, and the casino is, well, it's a casino. You can gamble in here, and yes, it does cost extra to gamble in the casino. So try your luck at it. Slots, roulette, blackjack, Texas Hold'em, craps. You got a lot of different games here. And the nice thing about the casino on Anthem of the Seas is it's rather large. As Royal Caribbean cruise ships have gotten larger, so have the casinos. So there's usually space to kind of, find your own little spot there. The casino is smoking. Usually there's one side that's non-smoking, one side that is smoking, so something to keep in mind. You've also got the shop, and the shop is where you're going to find Royal Caribbean themed logoed merchandise, t-shirts, hats, belts, maybe? I'm not sure. Backpacks, cups, anything that's got a Royal Caribbean logo in it, you can find here in the shop. So a lot of people like bringing home a souvenir with maybe the ship name on it, or perhaps just the Royal Caribbean logo, something that looks cool. There are toys and things of this nature for children as well. I don't think it's a very good value for them in general, but if you wanted to get them, you could do so as well. And there's also the liquor shop here. So if you want to buy liquor to bring home, you can do so. Any liquor you purchase on board the ship will be held back and delivered to your stateroom on the last night of the cruise. And you've also got some snacks and some goodies that you can purchase, some chocolates if that's of interest. Again, not great prices for the chocolates and the snacks, but actually the liquor prices are duty-free. So you may be able to save some money compared to buying it back at home. The aforementioned Cafe Promenade is here, and this is where you can go to get your complimentary coffee and snacks throughout the day. It's called Cafe Promenade. There's no promenades in Esplanade, but hey, I think they just went with the name anyway. Don't worry about that. Here's where you can get coffees. So they serve here complimentary coffees and teas and milk. So this is available for you. Cafe Promenade is not quite open 24 hours a day, but it's pretty close to it. And so you can come here almost any time of the day and night to get something to snack on or a cup of coffee. And then you have Sorrento's Pizza next door. Yes, the complimentary pizza included with your Royal Caribbean cruise fare. There's usually 3 or 4 varieties. It's almost always cheese, pepperoni, and then a rotating variety or 2. You can get it by the slice. And if you're interested, you can actually order an entire pie for yourself. If you have gluten-free, they also offer gluten-free options here, but simply ask for it. A lot of people just simply stop by for a slice. You'd be amazed how often you might say to yourself, boy, I could really go for a slice of pizza. And then bam, just because you're walking by and it smells so good. So Sorrento's Pizza is a must-eat, and quite often it's going to be throughout the day. The Brass and Buck Pub is your English-style pub on Anthem of the Seas. In the evening, there is live music performed here by a guitarist. In the daytime, there's just great drinks served here. And what's great about the pub on Anthem of the Seas, unlike the pub on other Royal Caribbean cruise ships that are not Quantum class ships, is that there's actually a menu. You actually get food in the pub. Not included, it does cost extra to eat at the pub. But most people go to the pub because they want to get a drink, a beer, a cocktail, whatever the case may be, and then check out the live performances. I love going to the pub every evening to see the live music performed here. It's just those songs that you know all the words to. It's a great spot. The Regalia Fine Jewelry Store is our next stop, and as the name implies, it's where you can get a lot of jewelry. There's a lot of shopping as we move towards the front of the ship on the Royal Esplanade here. You got Regalia, fine watches. So basically, if you're in the mood for shopping or souvenir hunting, this might be a spot for you. There's a number of different shops available to you on the Royal Esplanade. Of course, these all cost extra, but it's not a bad idea to kind of walk in and peruse and see what's over here. I'm not sure these are necessarily the best values out there, especially for some of the name brand clothing, but what's cool about this is you're on vacation, and what's fun is being able to bring back souvenirs that you can always think about, oh, that was on our cruise on Anthem of the Seas, right? Whether it's these pair of sunglasses you're seeing, a watch, a necklace, it's something that you associate with this vacation. I think that's really the appeal. Music Hall is our next stop on Anthem of the Seas, and Music Hall is a really cool venue. So it's a 2-story live music venue where usually you're going to find on your cruise some sort of a live band performing. So what's really cool is it typically is a classic rock band of some kind, and depending on your cruise, they'll obviously switch out. Depends which band they've got in there, but we've seen a lot of tribute bands in here, whether it's Led Zeppelin, the Beatles, Bon Jovi. It's incredible some of the acts they get in here. So you can go in, grab a drink, and then enjoy some classic rock to rock out to, literally. The second floor has a lot more seating options. There's not only the bar, but tables and whatnot. And there's also pool tables in the back. So it's actually a fairly large area. In the evening, actually, when I say the evening, I really mean the late hours. This turns into more of the club area where you're going to have more DJ music and people really going down to the dance floor. That dance floor, by the way, is where you can go to, well, dance if you'd like to, depending on the act and I guess people's moods. There's more people dancing or not, but Music Hall is a signature area of any Quantum class ship and really nice. All right, we're gonna go back upstairs now. We're on deck 6, and the photo gallery is our next stop on Anthem of the Sea. So during your cruise, you're gonna see photographers all around the ship who will take your photos. There's no obligation to stop and take your photo, but if you like to see what the photo looks like and possibly purchase it, this is where you can go. Swipe your SeaPass card and they'll show you all the photos. It actually uses facial recognition, and you can see all the photos you've taken. So whether you want to stop for a photo stop or you walk off the ship and there's a photographer, they can do all that for you. You can also purchase some photo accessories here or a GoPro or something like that. So if you forget anything, it might be a good spot. Across the way is the Schooner Bar, a classic Royal Caribbean spot. The Schooner Bar is as much known for the drinks they serve as the activities you'll find here. Traditionally, trivia. See all these people standing around here? They're all here for trivia. There's a variety of trivia events throughout the day that you can go to. And the trivia is really just for fun. I mean, you can win like a keychain or something like that. But it's really about enjoying a drink, watching trivia, participating in trivia, whether you want to participate or not. Some people just like to sit there and keep score in their head or actually write it down. It's fun. And there's different kinds of trivia. There's general trivia, Harry Potter trivia, Star Wars trivia. You get it. Next to the Schooner Bar is Chops Grill, Royal Caribbean's signature steakhouse restaurant. There is a cover charge, which means it costs extra to dine at Chops Grill. But being a steakhouse, there's a few different cuts of steak to enjoy. Chops Grill has become just a go-to option for so many people on Royal Caribbean cruise ships because, I guess a lot of people like steak, right? That's not much of a prediction or a statement, bold statement to make, but nonetheless, you've got some great choices here. You've got, of course, filet mignon, you've got New York strip steaks, and also there's other items as well. You'll find chicken, you'll find salmon, and lamb, and really, what you're coming here for is a great, satisfying meal. Speaking of satisfying meals, my favorite restaurants on any Royal Caribbean cruise ship is Izumi Sushi. So this Izumi location does cost extra, is a specialty restaurant in which you pay as you go. It's a la carte. So just like Johnny Rockets upstairs, basically for each item you order is what you pay for it. Now this offers only sushi and some minor dishes, like there's no hibachi, there's no hot rock here. They don't have a hot kitchen for you, but you can have some things like soups as well. But really, I think if you're going to Izumi, you're probably coming for the sushi, which is excellent. And I love going here. Great food. And some of the tables actually overlook the Royal Esplanade, which gives you some really nice views. So Izumi, if you're a sushi fan, is a great spot for you on Anthem of the Seas. Here we have the Bionic Bar. The Bionic Bar is a bar in which robots make your drink. No joke, it's legit here. Basically, you swipe your SeaPass card at an iPad that's on the tables, you order your drink, and then these robot arms will actually make the drink for you. It's a little bit more presentation than substance, meaning I'm not sure this will be your favorite bar to go to for like, oh man, I could really go for a drink right now. Let's go to the Bionic Bar. But it's undeniably cool to watch. If you've never seen it in action, I can almost guarantee you're going to stop in your tracks to at least see one drink being made. It's really neat because it's a robot making a drink. I don't need to explain that. It's just kind of cool. Shore Excursion Desk is where you can go to book a shore excursion. There are self-service kiosks here. You can do this, by the way, in the Royal Caribbean app as well. But, if you want to book a last-minute shore excursion, you can do so here. You can also speak to the shore excursion staff if you have any questions or concerns. My advice when it comes to shore excursions is you shouldn't be booking an excursion here. Book it before your cruise, research it, get it all set up. That way you can not only save some money, but also have plans and avoid it selling out. You're also going to find a small little nook for the art gallery. There are art auctions on board if you're interested. And then we have the Wonderland Specialty Restaurant. Wonderland is an extra cost specialty restaurant that's loosely based on Alice in Wonderland. It's a little bit of a departure from usual Royal Caribbean specialty restaurants, which is just about, hey, here's a cuisine or cooking style. Instead, you've got this kind of like whimsical take on a specialty restaurant. There's a little more shtick than other restaurants is what I'm trying to say. When you sit down, you're going to notice that it looks very different. And the idea is that you're in, well, I guess Wonderland, and your waiter is your guide through the whole process. And it's kind of a neat little take on the entire meal. Everything looks different than it really is. At the end of the day, you're still eating, beef and chicken and whatnot. If you've never been, it's worth doing at least once. We're going to head outside to the wraparound deck. On other ships, I call this the Promenade Deck. It's basically a deck that goes mostly all around the ship and provides some outdoor walking space. This isn't necessarily the walking or jogging track for you. It's kind of just an area to be outside and enjoy the view. I like going out here on sea days, maybe sit in the shade, read a book. There's some more comfortable seating you might find out here, and there's usually very few people. So if you're interested in coming out to just enjoy the sea breeze, this is a great spot for you. And, whether you're coming into port or leaving port, it'd also be a very good sail-away spot. So you might find a little different areas to enjoy all around that deck. Well, it's been about 5 minutes. I've talked about food, so let's keep moving and go to the main dining room. So on Anthem of the Seas, they have 4 different restaurants: Chic and the Grand and American Icon. Don't worry, they're all the same thing. Basically, without going into too long detail, Royal Caribbean thought about redoing the main dining room on the Quantum class. That didn't work out. So you've got 4 different dining rooms. You'll be assigned one of them. It's the exact same menu at every restaurant, just a different decor to them. So don't look too much into why am I not in this restaurant versus the other one. The main dining room is open for dinner every night. It's open for breakfast every morning and for lunch on sea days. There are 2 choices: traditional or my time. Traditional is when you have the set time every day of the cruise, so you have the same dining time, wait staff, and table assignment. Whereas my time, you can pick a different time of the day to dine for dinner, and you may have different table mates and even different waiter each single time. There's advantages and disadvantages to both, but it's something that you need to choose before your cruise. I personally prefer traditional, but that's how I started off with, and there's a lot of people who love traditional dining as well, and also my time. All right, let's walk back through the Esplanade now and check out the Royal Theater. So Anthem of the Seas actually has, among other acts you'll see in the Royal Theater, the West End show We Will Rock You. We Will Rock You is based on the music of Queen, and even if I told you the exact plot, it would make no sense to you. It's an interesting show. It's a fun show to see, and if you love the music of Queen, you're going to enjoy We Will Rock You. It's a fun show to see. It's complimentary, included with your cruise fare, and it's a West End show, like a Broadway show for England, so definitely worth seeing. Get a reservation as soon as you get on board the ship. If you're a Diamond member, which Diamond Plus, or Pinnacle and Crown and Anchor Society, well, the Diamond Club is a reserved area for you. Every evening, there are hors d'oeuvres and cocktails served here in the Diamond Lounge, and it's also open throughout the day there's a self-service coffee machine if you'd like to use that. It's really just an enclave for Diamond guests who are Royal Caribbean's highest level Crown and Anchor Society members. And basically, Royal Caribbean put this area for their loyalty members as a kind of thank you. Like, here's a spot just for you to go to. All right, let's take the elevator up, and love the elevators on Anthem of the Seas. You have a lot of views outside, or I guess what's more, outside the elevator, inside? I'm not sure how that works grammatically, but you have some views all around you, and of course, there are staterooms. Yeah, so we skipped a lot of decks in the middle, but there are staterooms on the way, and actually on the back of Deck 12 is the Concierge Club, aka the Suite Lounge. So if you're staying in a grand suite or above, then just like the Diamond Lounge, you have a dedicated area for you. You also have complimentary beverages in the evening and hors d'oeuvres. You also have the suite attendant, the suite concierge, who's there to help you with any concerns you have. The concierge is kind of like your own guest services, if you will. So if you're staying in a grand suite or above, sorry, junior suite people, then this area is available for you. And in the evening, there's a lot of people coming here because there's free drinks, free alcoholic beverages. That's right, included with your cruise fare. The only problem with the Concierge Club, it's like to get back here. Deck 12, all the way in the back, but once you get there, totally worth it. So as I mentioned, there are a lot of cabins, and in the middle of the ship, kind of the areas we haven't really talked about all that much, is where you're going to find your stateroom, depending on which kind of category you have. The inside, ocean view. This is actually, I believe, a studio inside room with a virtual balcony. So that's a live outside view of outside. So when the ship moves, it moves too. It's more of a replacement for an inside than a replacement for a true balcony, but it's kind of cool to do that. And most cabins, whether they're inside or balcony or otherwise, have pretty much a standard configuration. You've got the bed that can be split into 2 or combined into 1, private bathroom, sitting area, desk, TV. You kind of get it right there. And Anthem of the Seas definitely has a newer look to their bathrooms and their rooms in general. I think it's more modern looking, and I really like it quite a bit. You'll also find the conference center on Anthem of the Seas if you're in a group. If you're not in a group, you'll probably never go there. Adventure Ocean is available. We talked about the teen area, but what if you got kids that are younger than teenagers, right? Below the age of 12, well, there'll be an Adventure Ocean. Adventure Ocean is a complimentary children's programming available throughout the day. It's basically, let's call it kids camp, because that's what most people call it. And first of all, we got an open play area. This open play area is really geared for younger children, like toddlers. Basically, you got younger kids, like let's say under 3 years old. You can come in here with them. This requires you as the parent to be here, but they can go play and climb and kind of just burn off some energy. It's a great spot for toddlers to enjoy, and a lot of parents bring their kids in there. When my kids were that young, we did that as well. But Adventure Ocean is split up by age. There's 3 to 5, 6 to 9, and of course 9 to 11. And then you also have the infant area for the babies. The infant area does cost extra if you've got children under the age of 3, so between 6 months and 36 months, that'd be that. But again, the reason why they split up the ages is to make sure the programming is age specific. What a 4-year-old is going to be interested in is going to be vastly different than a 9-year-old versus an 11-year-old, right? So depending on the age group, that would make sense. The nursery does cost extra. There's an hourly charge for the nursery. Let me tell you something. As a parent, this is the best money you can spend on a cruise ship. Someone else can watch your kids for you, supervised. They know what they're doing. They can put the kid down for a nap, feed them. It's worth every penny to have a little bit of a break for parents. So go on the first day of your cruise to register any of your kids for Adventure Ocean. There's no cost to register for them. You can also sign up for times if you so choose. And the nursery is incredible because they have a lot of facilities here for them. And it's a great service for parents. So if you have 6 to 36-month-old kids, you definitely want to stop in here and check that out. But if you go to Adventure Ocean for the older kids, again, above the age of 3, then you're going to find a lot of different programming available for them. Adventure Ocean gives them different things throughout the day, whether they're going to be playing games together, reading, doing arts and crafts. There's a variety of options available. There's actually a science lab they have on Anthem of the Seas. So check out the compass. Every day there's a schedule of events for kids to participate in. And it's a great thing for kids and for parents alike. Kids get a break from parents get a break from the kids. It's win-win. Vitality Spa and Salon is our next stop. This is where you can go to relax. To maybe you just drop the kids off at Adventure Ocean. This might be your next stop, which is to get some you time. There's a salon, in which you can get your hair done, you can get your nails done, you can get other things done. For men, you actually get a shave in here as well. Manicures, pedicures, that kind of stuff. And the spa also has, of course, different treatments, whether it is a massage or other massages I can't think off the top of my head. You've got a lot of choices. Of course, the spa and the salon do cost extra for you. My advice in general is to book these in advance. Sometimes there are specials and port days available on board, so you can always ask. And you can also ask for a tour of the spa when you get on board the ship. There's no obligation to do so. You don't have to buy anything. You just go there for the tour. It's kind of neat to see this, like the thermal spa area, which is where you're seeing these seats for. Thermal spa, you can buy a pass for the duration of your cruise. Includes access to the seats and the rain shower and the sauna room. It's really cool, and so a lot of people like that because you can use it as much or as little as you so choose. But the spa is all about treating yourself, right? It costs you extra money, but like the spa anywhere in life, it's going to have hopefully a relaxing effect on you, a calming effect, and you're going to feel like truly on vacation and forget all your troubles. You're also going to find the fitness center near the spa, and the fitness center is the gym on board. And unlike, a hotel gym, which has one treadmill in the corner, there's a lot of things here. This is probably, in my opinion, fairly representative of most gyms out there. There's a combination of free weights and weight machines and ellipticals and treadmills and a variety of things in between. All this is complimentary. Yeah, you just come here, use it as you see fit. Fitness center, get it? Anyway, that was unintentional, but I just had to point that out. And, it's included with your cruise fare. In addition, Royal Caribbean does offer fitness classes, which do cost extra. Again, that's optional for you if you want to do like a spin class or something like that. But if you're just looking to get your workout in, you can do so while in, the fitness center here on Anthem of the Seas. Definitely, the fitness center tends to be very busy in the beginning of the cruise and during prime hours, like the morning hours, right? But as the cruise drags on, people start saying, you know what, I could go to the gym or I could sleep. They tend not to do that, but up to you. Well, there you have it. A look at Anthem of the Seas, one of Royal Caribbean's premier cruise ships. And whether you sail out of the UK or out of New Jersey on Anthem of the Seas or anywhere else you may go in the future, it's a fun ship. Lots to do. Great infusement of entertainment, dining, and of course, awesome places you're going. I love the fact that Anthem of the Seas is kind of this more enclosed than other cruise ships. So you've got more of an option to, no matter what the weather is, you've got the right approach for you. Hopefully you enjoyed this video and tour of Anthem of the Seas. If you did, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. Let me know below in the comments, what is your favorite part of Anthem of the Seas? What are you looking forward to trying out when you get on board the ship? I'd love to read about that. Thanks for watching. This has been Matt from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com, and we'll talk again real soon.